This time I'll tell you about the interesting ATV motorbike. Meet Draxter Trex. Hi there, as usually it's me, just a voiceover, you're watching Review Machines, and today we have a really interesting vehicle for the review. As you already know, it's Draxter Trex. You might think it's not a season for motorbikes. Of course it is. But on one hand, this bike is too interesting, I don't want to skip it. And on the other hand, it's all seasonal ATV bike that is able to go in winter conditions. So it's going to be an exciting test. But first of all, please consider subscribing the channel, my friends. It's really important for us, thank you. You might have seen Draxter bikes on our channel. It's cheap and quite capable motorbikes, so we couldn't miss their new product. Even a quick glance at the new model makes it purpose clear. This bike is all-terrain motorcycle with low frame, rugged, with big aggressive low-pressure tires. Its look is simple, some might even call it a bit rough, but there is definitely style and charisma here. The Draxter Trex has an awesome look, doesn't it? What I also like, that is everything here is strictly functional. There is almost no any unnecessary decoration. Every part of the bike serves a certain purpose, which is where its minimalist and simple design comes from. Let's check its specs now. At its heart, there is a robust steel frame. The bike is 2800mm long and weighs 170 kilos. It's not small, there is room for a passenger, and folding steps are included. It uses a proven classic setup, a 20 HP single-cylinder engine paired with CVT transmission. The fuel tank is in the usual place, and the CVT is protected by a steel cover. The exhaust is proper motorcycle muffler. It comes with both an electric starter and a kickstarter, which is really handy. And after sitting unused for a long time, our battery was dead. But that's not a big deal when you have a manual starter. As we've already noticed, the Trex is built on a low frame with a low seat height, such a design often seen in off-road motorcycles, and there is a simple reason for it. And since the engine is already warmed up, I'll now show you exactly what that means. This kind of machine is made for tackling rough terrain, like here, where we have a small slope and dense slippery snow. Thanks to the low center of gravity, I can easily control my balance and direction with my feet, and if needed, stop myself from falling. Snow, mud, sand, it doesn't matter. Let's talk a little about those large low-pressure tires with aggressive tractor-like mud treads. The standard wheels are 23-inch, with 25-inch available as an option. On the stock tires, the ground clearance is 350mm. Notice how all the components are positioned above the frame, so you don't have to worry about damaging anything when crawling over logs, for example. Even the fenders are protected underneath by a tube. Both front and rear use a swing arm suspension system. While travel might not be huge with this setup, the low-pressure tires add some comfort, and this kind of suspension handles sand and mud much better than conventional telescopic forks. At the back you can see a large sprocket. Paired with Toki engine, it really does feel like a two-wheel tractor. But we'll test that in the practice a bit later. Both wheels are equipped with hydraulic disc brakes. The seat is quite comfy. For lighting, there is a standard LED headlights with multiple modes and a brake light. It comes with crash bars, plastic fenders, mirrors, a phone holder, and even a small compartment for a thermos. As extras, you can add a rear case and fuel canisters. And now I think it will be interesting to see how it performs in practice. Let's get started. While we are near the road, let's check the top speed capabilities. Of course, for an all-terrain motorcycle it isn't the main focus, but it's still interesting to see what it can do. Keep in mind, this machine is built more for torque than for speed. Each has a large rear sprocket, and tires are frankly not made for asphalt. And yet, as you can see, we are hitting quite a reasonable speed, 82 km per hour. That's really good for an off-roader. The claimed top speed is 90 km per hour. After some period, it should get pretty close to that. The manufacturer calls this bike as an all-seasonal machine, but it's important to understand that in winter everything depends on snow depth. It's December already, but we have quite little snow, and as you can see, the Trex handles fresh snow with confidence. The aggressive low-pressure tires dig in well, hold their line, and the engine has enough power for this depth of snow. Just avoid driving in icy ruts. It's really easy to lose your balance in those. Like I mentioned, swing arm type suspension has limited travel by design, but the suspension does work, and the ride feels reasonably smooth, as far as you can tell on snow. Especially when you remember the classic off-road bikes, Rollcon for example, has no rear suspension at all and a similar setup in the front. Meanwhile, along our route, we are crossing a wide valley. The slope here is a long, not too steep, but very noticeable climb. Given the snow, it's quite serious obstacle. But the engine's torque and tire grip are more than enough to make it up without much trouble. Let's move on. We are riding into the forest now, and forest trails are probably where Trex is at its best. The bike is nimble and can't go practically anywhere in the woods, but the serious drawback that it doesn't have a reverse gear. Probably they will add this option later. And who is going to want Draxter Trex? Firstly, it will be for off-road touring, hunting and fishing. The bike has plenty of space, it can carry a passenger, and its payload capacity is claimed to be 259 kilos. While it only weighs 170 kilos. There is also generous luggage rack. In this part, we are moving through the forest in any direction, showing how maneuverable the bike is. Of course, it won't go through deep fallen logs or thick dead wood, but I think no one would argue that a motorcycle is one of the most agile vehicles out there. You might say, yes, but I could go through here much faster on my enduro bike. And you're probably right. But an enduro bike is more for riding fun and recreation, not really for serious work or hauling. Plus, the seat height is totally different, and there are usually no any luggage racks. Here we have a much steeper slope. Let's try climbing it. The key here is not to let the wheels spin out, so you keep it steady, in tension. And once again, the torquey engine and the big drive sprocket come to the rescue. Along our route, we are crossing a stream with unfrozen mud. Even though the bike sits low, we still have 350 mm of ground clearance, enough to handle rough uneven terrain. There is no all-wheel drive system on the motorcycle, at least not yet, but thanks to the aggressive mud tires, you can expect the Trex to be capable on off-road, something we've tested a little here. On our way out though, we have some problems. Well, let's watch it. And it's time for our favorite topic, the price talk. But first, a quick traditional wrap-up. So, Draxter Trex is an off-road motorcycle, an all-terrain bike suitable for riding in any season. The bike is simple and rugged in design, spacious, with solid carrying capacity, really handy for hunting, fishing and other outdoor work. Now, the price for a brand new Draxter Trex at our place is $5,000. Well, let's call it a day, my friends. Thanks for having a ride with us. Please post your comments what you think of this bike. Consider watching another our video about similar vehicle. Stay with us. There will be many more interesting materials here. Goodbye.